The Arizona Community Tree Council is a private nonprofit organization that has as its mission the education of people about the care of trees. The Arizona Community Tree Council also encourages people to plant trees, and last year they planted over 1,100 trees in the state.
Trees are more than first a seed, then a stem, then a living trunk, and then dead timber. Trees are a slow, enduring force straining to win the sky, our hearts, and our minds. To plant a tree is to plant hope, to plant joy, to plant an organic symphony. Trees can become our greatest antique.
Hi, my name's Steve Prieb, and I'm a horticulturist for the City of Phoenix Street Transportation Department, but I'm here today representing the Arizona Community Tree Council.
From stately pines, broadleaf shade varieties, to flowering trees, desert dwellers, and trees with fall colors, the choice is as wide as the dial on your radio. Finding the right one is like finding that song that speaks to your soul.
One of the trees that has a meaning for the broader populace that was originally here is the mesquite tree. It's called the tree of heaven because they use the wood for burning, they use the wood for constructing houses, they collected the fruits and flowers for edibility, they use the sap to boil down and make a paint out of. So I have appreciation for that one.
Arizona climate zones are as varied as our region, ranging from high elevation to low desert. Before planting your tree, it's important to know how local climate zones affect plant growth. There are several appropriate trees for each climate zone, and we encourage you to investigate your zone's tree options. To find out which trees are appropriate for your zone, go to aztrees.org or sunset.com.
Our native plants are great selections, and after that I would look at trees whose origins are other deserts of the world. We have a number of selections from Australia, the Australian deserts. We have a number of selections from African deserts, and those plants that are used to this hot, dry climate, they're going to have the edge over plants that are more tropical.
Trees grip the ground as though they loved it, and though fast-rooted, they wander forth in all directions with every wind, going and coming just like ourselves. So remember to plant the right tree in the right place. Site selection is one of the most important considerations for tree planting success. Consider these conditions when evaluating a planting location.
Measure the space that you want the tree to go in, do a little bit of research, find out if the mature height of the tree and shape of the tree is going to fill that space. Then when you're in the nursery, look and see if that conditions of that tree fit that space that you've measured, because that eliminates the need for a lot of pruning.
Apart from the cool comfort of a shade canopy, trees can also provide you with energy savings. Plant shade trees on the east and west sides of your home and deciduous trees on the south. The sun's angle in the winter months allows for ambient heating on the south side with deciduous trees.
We get some economic benefit if that tree is properly placed on our property.
According to the U.S. Department of Energy, planting trees in specific locations conserves as much as 25% of your household energy costs. This in turn can save you between $100 and $250 on your energy bill each year.
We also get the benefit of providing a habitat for wildlife. It doesn't matter whether at the city's edge or at the interior of the city, there's wildlife out there that's going to take advantage of the trees that you plant.
Be mindful of barriers such as buildings or sidewalks that can stunt your tree's journey into maturity.
If you want a tree under a power line, the best thing to do is to try to find a tree whose mature height gets to maybe 20 or 25 feet. That's going to top out under the height of the power line. That will mitigate the need for pruning that tree a lot in the future. If you have a tree that gets, say, 40 feet tall and the power line's at 35 feet, then you're going to have a little more pruning to do. You may have to do what we call drop crotching the tree. You may have to eliminate that central leader, and that's really hard on the tree. So we want to try to avoid that situation if we can.
Keep this in mind when selecting your tree from a nursery. Watch for trees that are not rooted to the nursery ground. Look for a trunk that is an appropriate size for the container. If a trunk is too large, the roots will be crowded and circle inside the container. Make sure the tree trunk is not pruned too high. Look for a tree trunk in which the canopy will not tip over if the nursery stake is removed.
You want to look for dead, dying, and diseased branches, broken branches, that type of thing. You want to look at the ratio of the root to shoot. And we have this concept that bigger is better, but that may not always be true with plants, and particularly trees, because they can get root bound in their pots. So we want to have a moderate size plant in a box or a container.
Before digging your tree's home, contact Arizona Blue Stake at azbluestake.com to ensure you don't cut into an electrical, phone, or gas line when you dig.
You should always call Blue Stake. That's an 811 number. That's easy enough to call them and let them know. And they'll come out and mark any utility lines that are in the area.
Now you're ready to plant hope. Remember, right tree, right place. Know where you want to plant based on several conditions, and know who to call before digging.
We have a saying in arboriculture, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now.
For more information, go to aztrees.org or srpnet.com. Next time, proper planting and staking.